What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Listen Up podcast. It's your boy Brandon.
This is your boy Sam.
Yo, man, we back with another episode, man. It's been an interesting week in Florida State football, man. Let me tell y'all first. Thank y'all to everybody who listened to the last podcast. Man, the numbers are definitely trending in the right direction. The support, the followers, everything, man. Y'all keep holding it down, man, and I appreciate it. But make sure if y'all have not hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button link. Y'all see the show. Facebook, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all seem to always, engage throughout the week, just kind of liking the podcast and adding followers. Continue to do that. Twitter, y'all already, listen, y'all been on since day one, so we appreciate everybody, man. Sam, what's going on with you, bro?
Man, not much, man. Allergy season is not playing this year, dude. Like, and then this weather, our weather is bipolar as hell right now, bro.
Fam,
90 degrees, 30 degrees. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, the weather
it,
system is out of control.
it took me out last week. You know what I mean? Or was that the week before?
Yeah,
Week
week
before
before.
last. It took me out. I was like, man, he was like, you ready? I was like, nope. Like I ain't leaving this bed. Like I ain't leaving this bed for nothing, man. It is, yeah. The way our weather is crazy right now because what is it? I think it was like 47 degrees or something like that this morning when I woke up, and I'm like, oh, 47 degrees. It
Yeah,
was like 90 2 days ago.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
get outside and put on some shorts thinking it's hot, man. Right back in the house to throw on some sweats. It's crazy, man.
yeah, man. It's crazy, man. But what was about to get into some FSU talk and everything. You been watching March Madness?
A little bit, man. A little bit. Like I feel like something happened with COVID, man, where I felt like everything that I absolutely used to love, like I don't know, it just don't feel the same. You know what I mean? Something about the hype of March Madness don't seem as hype as it was. You know what I mean? In past seasons, I ain't figured it out, but it's kind of been like that with everything. You know what I'm saying? Even Super Bowl didn't really feel like Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like
Really?
it didn't to me. Again, it just may be, you know what I mean, my perspective. It just didn't feel like, you know what I mean, like I don't know. So yeah, I've watched a little bit, man, but I haven't watched very much of
I
it.
gotta be
I was
honest with
glad
you.
Gonzaga went down.
I gotta be honest, bro. I ain't watched one game.
See, and that's different, right? Like I feel like that it wouldn't have been in the past. You'd have had a few games under your belt or whatever. Like I watched the Gonzaga, was it Arkansas beat Gonzaga or whatever it is. Like I watched most of that game, and
Hmm.
I've seen like 10, 15 minutes here and there.
Yeah, I ain't been catching none of it, man.
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
mean, bro. I don't even know who play on these basketball teams no more. Like, I don't know who's the LeBron or who's the
Who's the Kevin
Zion or the
Durant,
Ja
Carmelo
Morant. Yeah,
Anthony,
like I
Zion
don't.
Wood? Yeah, yeah. They don't have that this seat. You're right. Now
I,
that's what they missing. Even the Steph Curry, like at
hmm
when he was at Davidson lighting it up, and he was like, "Yo, this, like you had something to root for." I guess everybody rooting for what St. Peter's or whatever it is now. It's
Yeah,
kind of like that story, but man, I don't know. I just ain't been in it. I
yeah,
ain't been in it like I
yeah.
used to.
Same. I ain't really checking it out either, man. I ain't really watched none of the games. It's been crazy for me.
I may take some
Um,
time today because my girl finna watch this Bridgerton show or whatever. She finna binge watch the hell out of this Bridgerton show. So I know for a fact, and that's on Netflix, and I see all the women talking about it. So I know I'm finna. Today might be a day I can kind of get caught up on some stuff. So
yeah, we gonna get into we gonna answer some of the questions later. Sam Fave just asked a pretty good one, so we gonna get into them later in the show. So where you want to start, Brownlee?
let's
Kenyatta
start Brownlee, man.
Watson.
We buried it last week, and everybody was upset. I mean,
Well,
everybody was
I
like,
thought we discussed it pretty well actually, but
"No, I'm talking about saying we buried it." Like people wanted to talk about it at the top of the show. You know what I mean? They wanted to dive right into the Brownlee thing. But yeah, all right. So I mean, if you don't know that, Jarvis Brownlee has decided to enter the transfer portal. So he's no longer with Florida State, and I guess we kind of felt like it was trending that way, but I felt like they were going to pull back. You know what I mean? I thought at some point somebody's going to have a conversation with him. They would be, different things happening, and he would end up staying. You know what I mean? Coach Mike
mhm,
Norvell, I thought maybe a position coach. Hell, even some players, I thought maybe can kind of get to Jarvis and say, all right, well, I get it, right? You're uncomfortable. You're upset right now. Let's kind of make this situation a little better. Of course, that
right.
didn't happen. Now he's in the portal.
Hmm.
That's just I guess the what happened, right? For me, I'm more confused at why this is a good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think the thing that threw me was I look at the comments and it's more, oh, addition by subtraction. Oh, this is a good thing. oh nah, man, we ain't need him no way. We got this. We got these guys.
Hmm.
I ain't got a whole lot of faith on some true freshmen. You know
Right,
what I'm saying? Like y'all, oh, we got McCall, we got and Thomas, right?
right,
So we don't even need Brownlee. And I'm
right.
like, y'all telling me, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Brownlee a 4 or 5 star prospect?
Well, he was like a
He wasn't he a three?
he was a high
Well,
three.
high three,
Yeah.
4. I mean, but what he was really good at times. You know what I mean? He made plays for you. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
what he did do, he was a catalyst in the back end of the defense towards after like game 5, I think, game 4, game 5, after they figured their rotation out.
Hmm.
He was really good in blowing those screen plays up. He was really
Perfect.
good
Yep.
on the edges, supporting the run.
Yep.
You know, is Azare Thomas and is Sam
Sam McCall.
McCall, are they going to be better long term prospects? I think
Probably.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
I think that's
Yeah.
true. Right.
Hmm.
Um,
But you got to win games today.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's I. So when I talk about the football team, right, and it's something Wig said this. I was listening to him on a lot on Jaguars podcast. He's absolutely right about this, right? Your team can be better than last year's team, right? Right?
I would hope so.
Your
Yeah.
team this
Yeah.
year can be better than last year's team, right?
Yeah.
But
I
this year's
think that's the goal.
team don't have to play 8 weeks or 10 weeks of last year's team, right?
Everybody else got better.
Right. Other teams
Hmm.
get better too, right? So like
Right.
I think like even with the Jaguars, right? Jaguars sign all these wide receivers, right? And everybody like, hey, we got a better wide receiver core than we did last year. Okay, well that's great, but you're in the AFC, and Miami went and got better wide receivers than you.
Hmm.
The Raiders went and got the best wide receiver in the 1A or 1B, best wide receiver in the game.
Hmm.
So all these other wide receiver cores are getting better too.
Hmm.
So then you're gonna get into the season, you're gonna fall right back into the same pecking order, right? Because everybody else got better, right?
Right.
So with Brownlee, I think the thing I think everybody's missing on, right, is that what killed the secondary last year to begin the season, right? Because the season didn't start once we started winning games. The season started first week, right? You lost against Notre Dame,
Hmm.
JSU,
Hmm.
Wake Forest,
Hmm.
Louisville, all these
Hmm.
teams you lost against, right? The problem was the secondary was not on the same page.
Hardly ever.
It was miscommunication all across the damn secondary, right?
Hmm.
So the idea, in my opinion, was you bring everybody back from in the secondary, right? And then the communication is up to snuff, right? So
Correct.
everybody know what this guy's doing, that guy's doing.
We've
We've
been
been
in
in
the
the
system for
system
3 years.
3
Yep.
years.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Now we're going to ask people to move around, maybe play some position they're not comfortable playing,
Starting from scratch all over
starting from
again.
scratch again because Brown is gone, right?
Yep.
Those are the things I'm concerned with, right? Because I want to actually see us win, against LSU. I think we got an opportunity to win that game, right? So you
Hmm.
want to get off to a fast start. You want to win winnable games early in the season to get confidence. If you
What?
got miscommunication early in the
Mhm.
season,
I don't even hold on a second. Not even with the miscommunication, right? I just want to take the one point you made when you said he came down and played those screenplays. You
right?
remember? I remember me and you doing the pod saying, "Where? How come we don't have a guy who seems to like read, see that
Understand?
play coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, sees that play coming and gets it and stops it before the line of scrimmage. They do it
Mm-hmm.
against us all the time, but we don't have nobody to do it."
Mm-hmm.
Brownlee had become that guy pretty consistently, right? If he made the tackle, I know it was times he missed it or whatever, but he was there to diagnose that play. Seemed like really good. That's star position, right? That Jalen Ramsey position.
Right.
He played it fairly well. You know what I mean? And at a like you said, a high level.
Right.
Who's the guy?
Well, I can tell you who it's
Like
not
you're
going to be.
asking, you know what I
I
mean?
can
We're
tell you who
asking
it's.
a
I
true
can tell
freshman to
you.
come in and immediately start doing this. And like you said, when you talk about the communication thing, and also be on and be up to speed with all the other players who've been there.
Right.
Again,
Well,
you're reshaking the room up again when you didn't need to reshake a room.
right. And this like Greedy Vance is 5'6", man, like 5'7", 165 pounds. He's gonna get blocked on the edge. I mean, this is. I mean, I don't know what we discussed today. He's gonna get blocked on the edge, right? Like, I mean,
Period. Period. Yeah.
okay, all right. So he can't be your number 2.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Like you say, if nothing else, it's a death thing, right? Let's say he was gonna get beat out, because that was another thing I heard, right? Everybody was like, he was gonna get beat out anyway. The spring practice was saying all these guys was having a better camp, and
Yeah. Yeah. I
you
mean,
still need them. Like you still need them.
but
Like you
long.
want to have good players. Like they're gonna get tired, right? At some point in time, those
Yeah.
defensive players get tired. And then you sub in another, right? Do you want to have to go to Greedy Vance, or would you like to go to Jarvis Brownlee?
Right. Yeah. One is a better player than the other one, right? It's not. You want as many answers on your roster than you have questions. That's what you,
Period.
as a coach, you want as many answers as possible. You don't want a lot of questions. You want answers on your roster. That's just how this works. But and then I think another thing is people are saying, well, you could put Sam McCall or whatever, or Thomas. And I'm not saying that and it's hard because you can't talk about this stuff without seeming like he's shading other people, right?
Mhm.
I think those guys can be good, right?
Absolutely.
But I've only seen one guy that started in the secondary at Florida State
And made plays.
and was ready game one, and that was Jalen Ramsey.
Mhm.
He's the only guy I can remember ever doing that. Like LaMarcus Joyner, it took LaMarcus Joyner, 4 or 5 games?
Mhm.
It took Greg Reed 4 or 5 games.
Mhm.
It PJ Williams took a whole year.
Mhm.
Darby took a whole year.
Mhm.
You know,
These guys developed. Yeah, we had but
it
the
takes
difference
time.
was, like you said, Jalen Ramsey. I mean, was a top 5 pick. You know what I mean? The best cornerback
Right.
in the NFL. You understood you had something
Future Hall of
different with
Famer.
these guys.
Future Hall of
Future
Famer.
Hall of Fame.
Right.
Like if you said now Super Bowl champion. Like
Yeah.
if you tell me you got
Those type
Jalen
of
Ramsey
guys.
there,
Okay.
then I might say, okay, you're right.
we could have Jalen Ramsey. We could. We don't
We
know.
could
We
have
don't
Jalen
know.
Ramsey.
We don't know that. We could.
I
But it's
feel like
hard
we
for
would.
us to believe that.
When you got Jalen Ramsey.
Right. But it's hard to believe that, right? Because it's hard. It's just hard to believe. It's hard to put that type of expectations on true freshmen like that. You know what I'm saying? To say, come in game one, be ready to go, let's go, right?
Do me a
And
favor and
I
click
think
on.
this is a good question right here. Somebody said, what about Hunter Washington, Shaheem Brown? What positions they play? Can they not step up? Brownlee played over them last year.
You gonna take the words I'm like? Yes, they can step up.
Yeah.
We just haven't seen it. Like
Right.
we didn't see them play very often. That would say to me, and we saw Jarvis Brownlee take all them snaps.
Right.
So that says to me they don't feel too confident about what they had behind them.
Guys get better, you know.
They
what I'm
do get
saying?
better.
But then even when you watch, like I tell somebody this, and I like Cooper, right? I like the Cooper kid, right? I really do. Go back and watch the Florida game last year. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there, y'all. Go back and watch the Florida game. They picked on him. Okay. It's some things that happens in games, but I think what happens is you even got now where we place all the Jarvis Brownlee blame on the JSU stuff, right? We've forgotten that the coordinators are calling bad defenses and can't get
That's
their
what's
defense
wild.
aligned up, right?
I kept saying, like, they were like, Jarvis is responsible for the worst loss in Florida State history. I remember coming on after that game and fully blaming the coaches.
Yeah.
And we were in agreement as a family. The coaches was fucking that up. Like the coaches fucked that up.
Now,
we all said, like, everybody, like, it was the one time that everybody seemed to be on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all said, what kind of crazy ass defense was that? Yeah, them dudes could make a tackle or whatever it is, but the coach is supposed to put them in the best position.
Right.
We all agreed that didn't happen. So I don't understand what we're talking about.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
It's because he's gone. It's essentially he gone. They mad or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen in the future, man. And I'm not saying that these players can't be good, and I think that's what I'm trying to tell people. I ain't saying they can't be good. I ain't saying
but you
that.
had one that was good.
I'm saying
you can't keep losing good players.
I guess my thing is he was an answer. You knew what he was. You know what I'm saying? You knew what he was. You know,
you can't lose. Hold on, you can't lose starters.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he was a starter. Yes, everything that everybody's, you know what I mean? Washington, Brown, AZ, all of them.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
But they all have not proved that we haven't seen them do it yet.
Yeah, we got to see them do it.
We haven't seen them do
it. Not saying they can't. Not saying they can't. So, but let's transition to Kenyatta Watson. Went to Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Behind the scenes guy. One of our Georgia connections. Went to Georgia Tech. How you feel about that?
I think it sucks.
You think so?
I think Watson and uh what's the other dude? Name escaped me. Same
No,
role with Florida, South Florida dude.
yeah, I know you're talking about.
I don't know why his name escaped me. But yeah, you need Georgia connects. You need, you need Georgia connects. You need Florida connects. You need Louisiana connects. You need, you know what I mean? So yeah, you absolutely have to. I don't. Again, it's not devastating, but
Right.
for them to have built up their behind the scenes, Watson was a part of them. Of Watson was a part of what we looked at and what we talked about when we said they have started addressing some of the behind the scenes, some of the off field stuff and the behind the scenes stuff, so that they can land and be in the rooms with certain commitments. And Kenyatta Watson was one of those people who allowed them to be in certain rooms with certain folks. So yeah, again, is it monumentally devastating? No, but it ain't. I mean, it ain't ideal. I'd imagine they would be better with him than without him. We'll see who they get to replace him.
I don't think it's. I think the on-field coaches really dictate how you're going to recruit. I
Hmm.
think those behind the scenes guys are really just about support, right?
Are they not also
Um,
about connections though? For
I
this
think
staff, for this staff.
I'm saying what it would. I'm saying, but my point is, if the on the field coaches was better recruiters, that on the field guy really wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, oh, we're asking. Okay,
Yeah,
I get where we going.
you know what I'm
All right.
saying? Like I'm just no, I'm being real. Like
No, no, I get it.
I
If
mean,
if our guys were
if
better,
you
then we wouldn't need Watson.
yeah, like if you
But
got
they're not
German,
better.
like if you got German Pruitt, I mean, you wouldn't care how many off the field guys ran out the building. You'd be
Hmm.
like, well,
Hmm.
Pruitt's a damn good recruiter, right? So you wouldn't it really wouldn't matter to you.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think it's that big of a deal. He didn't really do much, but then at the same time, none of these coaches are really doing much when it comes to recruiting, so they're not really
Well, that's
blowing
what
it
I'm gonna
away.
say. For me, it's not even what he brings. It's more of this. The thing that we pointed out with this staff was they don't have very many ties to the South, right? Or with Mike specifically, when we talked about it, Mike doesn't have very many ties to the South. So then you're gonna need to make some inroads. You're gonna have to, find some people who can, was it bridge the gap between you and some of these coaches in some of these areas, right?
No,
Uh,
I don't think it's spin. I mean,
who's
I don't
spinning
think
it?
it's a big deal. I mean, I don't
I
personally think it's
don't.
that big of a deal. I don't think it says anything about Mike Norvell or anything.
No, no, no.
I did find it like the only thing I found odd about it was FSU had given him a raise,
Mhm.
which I don't think he deserved a raise. They had gave him a raise, and something else that was weird to me was, I don't think Jeff Collins I don't think he's going to be at Georgia Tech after next year. I think he's going to get fired.
We looked at that schedule. Yeah, we was commenting on that schedule, man, and
Well, I mean, he just if,
Georgia Tech got 2 wins in them.
and I don't think Jeff Collins is a. I don't think Jeff Collins is a bad coach. I think he had a tough job. I mean, he had to flip a triple option roster, and
Yeah,
then you're going against the beast that is Georgia in state and Clemson,
and
you
Georgia
know,
got it rolling right now either, so
and
it's not even fair. Yeah,
Clemson, Georgia. I mean, they kind of like fourth or fifth fiddle in that state recruiting wise. So um,
I'm
I
not
just
sure
found it. I found
what
it.
Leah's hearing. As I'm like, yes, he went back home to be with his family. Great. We're just talking about it from a standpoint of
Yeah,
does Florida State, is Florida State affected by what's going on?
yeah. We only
So
care about Florida State.
yeah, we don't care about what, like, yeah, I mean, whatever decision he made to do whatever it is he wanted to do is his business. I'm only talking about how it affects Florida State.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about the man personally. But
Yeah. No, no. But I don't know what it. Uh, I mean, I don't know. Like Terrence making a good point.
mhm,
That's his job. His job was to
that's
get
all
kids from South Georgia to old campus, and he did that.
right. Yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And because I'm saying it's more important for this specific staff because this specific staff doesn't have very good recruiters and also very few ties to South Georgia. So he did play a part in, like you said, getting South Georgia kids on campus. So
Yeah.
just find somebody else who can do it, and again,
Yeah.
it's a wash.
Yeah.
But right
Yeah.
now they don't have it, and they need to fill that spot.
Yeah, so I'm kind of concerned. I'm a little concerned. I mean, I'm not that concerned, but these,
Yeah.
like, I don't personally, I think Bartow gonna be gone. I don't think
Well,
Bartow's
that's
gonna
what I'm
make it
thinking of.
to the
Bartow.
season.
That's what I was
Yeah,
saying.
I don't think Bartow's gonna make it to the end of to the beginning of the season. I think Bartow will be gone also. Be honest with you, which I think he's a bigger I think for Florida State, it's
Hmm.
something that we need. I
Right.
think for Miami, it might be a luxury, but for him, that might be just where he want to be at, right? Like lifestyle
Right.
wise, what fits him, and
Hmm. I
I think
mean,
he could end up in Miami, which I could be wrong, but he, maybe I don't know. But these behind the scene guys don't really matter if
they
this is
matter.
about your coaches, man. If your coaches can recruit and do the things they need to do, you know,
Again, that's what I'm saying. You are correct in the sense of they don't really matter. They matter here. They matter with this specific staff more so than other staffs. And that's the only and that's why, like you said, if Bartow decides to go to Miami, or if and with Kenyatta Watson going to to Georgia,
mm,
Georgia Tech, yeah, you just got to find some guys who can kind of keep you, bringing those kids down on campus. As long as they find somebody, it don't really matter who they get. Just as long as they find somebody to do it,
yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to some of these camp reports, man. So Tate Rodemaker, they say is looking great and everything. I want to know what,
I think James already dispelled that. So
but what's funny? So people was saying you acting like he's gonna be the starter. I said, well, you know,
he is.
I mean, if you
At
know
some game, at some point, Jordan will not finish. Listen to me. There's a few things that are very certain, right? Jordan Travis will not finish this season with
Right.
playing all 11, 12 games. How many games they play this season? He won't finish all them games.
Yeah,
I'd give him 9. He gonna miss 2 or 3.
yeah. I worry about, I worry about, um, I worry about what it means, far as not going to go get a backup. I've heard some things about, it's funny, the camp reports that you read on Twitter or online from like some of these websites and stuff is not the stuff that I hear.
You
Uh,
tweeted that yesterday. I started. I'm gonna ask you about. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask him about it on air. I'm gonna hold his feet to the fire. Let me see. I say, what specifically? Because that was. I know how you think, so I know something. You just got off a phone call. Somebody had just said something, and you was like, okay, so these camp reports ain't adding up to what I'm hearing.
yeah, I
So
mean, it's just some of these things, just don't make a lot of sense, man, because it's so for one, somebody so okay, so somebody was talking to me about the secondary, right?
hmm
And it was like, a lot of talented guys talented, but guys not on the same page. It's a lot of frustration within the secondary, right? A lot of frustration. Like,
mm.
you know, um,
What kind of frustration? What you mean when you say
like,
frustration?
people just not on the same page in the secondary right now. So when I read these camp reports with him telling me Rodemaker throwing these touchdowns and blah 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 blah, that makes sense to me, right? Like, yeah, Rodemaker could be having a good camp because the secondary is not in the they're not communicating well right now. Well, that bothers me because secondary should be communicating well right now, right? Like
hmm
you know the offense, so you should be communicating well. So then I read, so somebody sent me that. Then somebody said, well, got a real problem on the edge. You know, um,
hmm
you know, it's a real issue with the edge players right now because McClendon's playing well, right? But McClendon is limited at what he can do, right? You know what I'm
hmm
saying? So somebody asked what I mean by not on the same page. Okay, when the offense go into motion, right? Offense, you got to hand guys off in the secondary, right?
hmm Communication.
So you have to communicate with one another. You have to understand the shift in the secondary, right? So they're
Right.
not on the same page when stuff like that happens. So when the offense gives window dressing, right? When the offense gives window dressing, the secondary is confused by these things, right?
Guys running wide open.
Guys running wide ass open, which we know because we've seen that in games, right? This is not crazy, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
whole lot. I thought you had them. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. People hands up in the air, like, what are you
Yeah,
doing? You
that's
know
the
what I'm saying?
logo. Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot of frustration there, right? Then you go to the defensive ends, right? Somebody
hmm
told me, we talking about Jared Verge came out and said something like Bless Harris the best offensive lineman he ever seen.
Oh shit.
Hold on, just we talking now.
That really was said. Hold
Yeah,
on.
this is what he said. He said this, right? So
Oh
people was like, well,
shit.
maybe he's just trying to build his teammate up. Well, I'm
No.
hearing stuff like,
He getting dominated. I heard it saying.
well, I ain't gonna say he getting dominated.
Nah,
I'm
dominated.
saying Bless Harris is probably running with the third team. He's playing against the third team. So and I'm just saying, like we talking in general. You know what I'm saying? This is so the whole thing is the
Yo, my
defense
man,
is gonna take
Sam.
verse some time, right? They
I
said
ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. If
yeah, they
Bless
said
Harris is the best lineman he done went up against, and like I said, I'm assuming you got a phone call from the same person I got a phone call from, and if he's being dominated by in camp by Bless Harris, and Bless Harris is the best lineman he's went up against.
well, I don't think it's, I'm just telling
Versus,
you what people saying. So anyway, so we get into that conversation. So I'm like,
whew.
I don't really want to hear that, but whatever. But then, with the take roll to make a situation, I'm like, okay. So I think Mike
So
has more
let me
bodies.
ask you this:
I think
You
I
think?
think when I think when they talk about this camp
Hmm.
opposed to the other camps, right?
Hmm.
With the other camps, you was stuck with what you had, right? Like you didn't have a lot of
Options.
options,
Hmm.
right? So now this camp, the media is looking at all these players, and
Hmm.
now they're saying, "Oh, well, it's more options on the field, right? Because you holding full scrimmages.
Okay,
You see what I'm saying?
good change.
You
Yeah.
got more players. You didn't have as many players, right? So now all these guys kind of like look alike a little bit, right?
Hmm.
None of them really standing out, but they all look alike. So he make a play, they gotta make a play. This guy make a play, that guy make a play, right? Cool. I don't think what they're looking at, this is me talking. I think what they're looking at is a marginal college football team, right? Where you see what I'm
That's what I
saying?
was gonna say.
Right,
I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah,
right. So
you're looking at a bunch of mediocre. Yeah,
right, and you judging mediocre versus mediocre, right?
you're right.
So like so now I think what a lot of times the media is looking at is like, oh, well, this guy made a good play against this guy, so that guy must be emerging, right?
Hmm.
But they all really like mediocre ACC
They
players,
all can splash and make a play. In other
right?
words, you got
Against one another,
against one another. Yeah.
right. So I think it's not a lot of special out there right now. I think some of those guys can turn into special, but
Mm-hmm.
I think it's taking them time. It's taking them time to get there.
Right.
So, and I think a lot of them are looking at body types, right? Like I think the Caden Lyles kid has a better body type than Maurice Smith, right?
Hmm.
But Maurice Smith moves better than Caden Lyles.
And that's what I was gonna
You see what
say.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah, no.
it's a
To
lot of
your same
variance,
point, Marcus said versus running with Trav step for step. That's all well and good. He can be the fastest dude on the field, right?
right?
It doesn't matter if he doesn't have the hand placement. You know what I'm saying? Like that defensive end don't have nothing to do with that speed. Because if that lineman gets a good step as well, if you don't have the ability to fight in those trenches or even the size
Right.
to fight, to be able to fight and push off those guys, it does get really tough. Because
Well,
again, I know there's some quick DNs, but
yeah.
you got to have something else. And so if Bless Harris is giving him the business in practice, it's saying to me he probably does have a little bit ways to go, even in the technique standpoint, or even in maybe even the weight room standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a okay. Like, all right, man. I say this: if you watch Jermaine Johnson, watch his
Lots of
these,
moves,
but watch these tapes of him in these Senior Bowl practices and stuff, right?
killing dudes.
And
Yeah.
me and Wid was talking about this, right? And Jermaine Johnson could turn speed into power
Mm-hmm.
on a dime. He could
Mm-hmm.
turn power into speed on a dime. You know what I'm saying?
Both of them into finesse.
Right.
Yeah.
He could do it within, because you got to think about it, the game is played within the box.
Mm-hmm.
In football, the game is played within a box. It's not played on a 100-yard field, right? The 100-yard field is just the results of what you did in the box. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You making a big play as a result of what you did in the box. So Jermaine could do this stuff really, really well, right? So then by him being able to do that, it frees up other guys to, like, it frees up a Derek McClendon to just be a speed guy off the edge, right? So even if Derek McClendon
It
didn't make
allows your linebackers to be able to come up and make plays. Yeah,
right,
it
yeah,
affects
right.
everything. Yeah.
So I think it's not crazy to say you're gonna have a significant drop off the defensive end, right? That ain't crazy, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you lose a guy, like I think Jermaine Johnson is gonna get drafted in the top 10.
Yep.
And I think Jermaine Johnson is gonna be a 10 sack guy in the NFL for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's that good
I
in the
agree.
right system, right? Special. First ain't gonna be that this year. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna flash, right? He's gonna speed past a couple guys every now and then, right? But then
He's
you're gonna
gonna
have
release.
guys that's gonna say, "Nah, I'm gonna make you come in here and fight in this box, and let's see what I'm gonna take that speed away from you and
Hmm.
see can you turn into power."
Right.
And now when that happens, what's his counter?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree with. I don't know if he has it yet.
Right. So
And
he
that's
gotta
the
he gotta
problem. I think
develop that.
that's
He has to develop
yeah.
that. Right. And he might get there. That might be a next year thing. That might be a full year of development of growth, building your body up,
Hmm.
getting to that point. Like I said, Jermaine just played behind Travion Walker. Travion Walker, in my opinion, is the top defense in the draft. This is the opinion I've come up with. This is me talking. I think he should be taking number one because Travion Walker can do damn near anything at defensive end, outside linebacker. He could do it at
So if the
265,
Jaguars picked him up,
270 pounds.
you'll be hyped with that.
Yes.
Okay.
I would
All right.
take I think Travion Walker and Evan Neal are the two best players in the draft.
Over Thibodeau
Over Thibodeau
And over Hutchinson.
and over Hutchinson. I think those two are best because when
Hmm.
you watch Travion Walker on film, he can do everything and he can do all of it at a high level. So if you ask him to just Georgia never asked him just to go get the quarterback. They never that wasn't a defense, right? It was a Nick Saban, Jeremy Pruitt defense, right? With
Hmm.
Kirby. Defense linemen don't get high sack numbers in those defenses. They never do. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Right.
So if you go look at the 2013 FSU defense, Lamarcus Jordan led the team in sacks with like 4. But it doesn't mean that Tim Jernigan and Mario Edwards Jr. wasn't affecting the
Wasn't fucking
game.
monsters, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Bitch monsters. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I think if you put Travion Walker
When he had
from the
that thing going, boy,
yeah.
he knew it
So
was gonna be a long
in my
day.
opinion, if you put Travion Walker on the side of Josh Allen, I think Travion Walker gonna be a 10 sack guy. And you can put him in
Hmm.
any defense. You can put him in 3-4, 4-3. He can do both of it. I don't think
You basically
Tibbs.
saying he the next Von Miller.
No, I think he is a poor man's Myles Garrett. I think he's
And
not as
you think a poor man's Miles Garrett could be drafted #1?
shit, you're not
I
good,
would
Myles
need at
Garrett.
least Miles. I would need Miles Garrett. Give me Miles.
Okay, but we get into another
We off
tangent.
topic. We
Yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
off topic. All right. Here's the thing. I actually was going to say. I think this defense, right,
Yeah.
may end up really struggling early, but I think they'll be really good late in the season. I think it's going to
Right.
take a minute for, like you said, players like Verse, some of the other, if Fuller is on the other side, of that line. Um, I think your linebacker group is kind of hold you together for a little bit. You know what I mean? They're going to keep you in game. I think that's, shit, in my opinion, they are the most
The
veteran bunch.
best player I heard when you talking about the true freshman that's making like a legitimate impact and really pushing guys, I think, in my opinion, this is what I'm hearing, is Omar Graham might actually be the real deal at middle linebacker, right? Like, Omar
Okay.
Graham. This is
No,
something
no,
I
no.
heard.
I can believe that though.
Right. This is
That's
something I
not there.
heard.
That's
They
not
said
far fetched. That's not far fetched at all.
and nobody's talking about him, but I'm just
Hmm.
telling you what I heard. They said Omar Graham is a natural, instinctive linebacker.
Oh,
He
that's good.
is a see ball, get ball
Coming
type of guy.
downhill. Yeah.
Triggers, all of this stuff, right? And he's not being discussed like that, right? Because it's not flashy. It's not flashy to watch a linebacker zip into a gap real quick. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's not a flashy thing for the media folks, right? They
Hmm.
constantly looking at the ball and looking at who's jumping the highest at this player, who's doing this and doing
Hmm.
that. You know what I'm
Splash
saying?
plays. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a smash plays. But from what I heard, Omar Graham is like one of the most physical linebackers on the team. He's very
Very good.
instinctual. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he's
Right.
gonna play a lot, but I'm saying as far as that group, like these
Yeah, that's what I said.
newcomers.
I think the linebacker group as a whole is pretty sound. I think they're going to carry the team a lot early on in the season. But I
Mhm.
think overall, by the end of the season, I can see this defense being a little better than last year's. Maybe not in the sack yardage, the impact of verse and stuff like that. But I do think they can, as a whole, I think they can be a good unit. The problem is, I just think they're gonna struggle early, and just because, like you said, communication. I think you'll see a whole lot of guys streaking wide open, a whole lot of, I don't know, hands in the air. But I do think they'll clean it up by the end of the season.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Well, we're gonna see. Like I told somebody, dude, all this stuff is gonna get. You got to figure out pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna have a good plan going into the first game. You know what I'm saying? Or the first and the second game, in my opinion. I think they have a good plan. Somebody just put, man, they talking about Beyond Warner. I don't think y'all understand how good Beyond Warner was, but
Nope.
if he's Beyond Warner, we good.
For real. I take Beyond Warner right now.
Yeah, I take two of them.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. You can be Beyond Warner.
Beyond
That's
Warner
yeah,
was really good.
yeah.
But yeah, but I mean, even with Bjorn Warner was not a speed guy, right? He turned power and made his moves and stuff. But
Yeah.
Jermaine could do both. He was speed and power. He was Brian Burns and Bjorn Warner put together, in my opinion, in college. And Bjorn Warner, but now Brian Burns is a different type of athlete. I mean, a different type of being on
I
that
mean, you
dude.
see it. He
Yeah,
a
he's a
freak.
he's a
Yeah.
freak. I mean,
Yeah, he's a
that's
freak.
very freakish. I remember I was talking to the guy that got drafted by the Buffalo Bills, Thomas. He's at the Carolina Panthers now. But he was saying when they went to the combine, because Burns had played on that sorry ass Florida State team, they was kind of like, why is everybody keep hyping up Brian Burns? He said, dude, when Brian Burns went to start doing those drills, he said he was like, he said, dude, he said it's the crazy, like he said it's the craziest thing you ever seen. He talking about just like straight burst, bend,
Mm-hmm.
back pedal, speed, turning around. He like, bro, he said he was sick at the
Yeah, they say he
combine.
moved like almost like a DB almost. It's just
Yeah,
real, real
yeah.
fluid. Yeah, real,
Yeah.
real fluid. Yeah.
He was like,
No, it's crazy.
you see that much size move like that height, he says it's incredible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I need to get his name too, because he was pretty cool. But
But no,
but no, I
listen,
think
hold on.
it'll be
Before we
fine
get
though.
continue, man, hit the subscribe button if y'all haven't, man. Y'all listen, hit the subscribe button, keep commenting, ask your questions. We'll get to them at the end of the show. If you haven't already liked the episode, go ahead, hit the like button, pop over. If y'all watching YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, hit the button. Then pop over to YouTube and hit the like button, or just leave some comments on Facebook. You know what I mean, letting us know so we can continue the dialogue throughout the week. But now go ahead, man.
No, but I was just saying, I just think it's gonna take them a little time. Overall, I think they're gonna be fine. Because I just think that you got a lot of new faces. You brought in like 12, 14 new guys. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I think everybody's starting to get kind of just have to get acclimated to what's going on. And I don't think these practices is going as great as everybody's saying. I just think there's a lot of people running around. So now it looks like it's that's what I'm saying.
They just happy people running around. Well, here's the thing, man. We understand that camp, everybody positive in camp. The
Oh,
spring, everybody good.
that dude from Buffalo's his name was Daryl Johnson. He played at the Carolina Panthers now. But yeah, he's the one that was telling me about Brian Burns at at the combine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Daryl
But yeah,
Johnson, pretty
no,
good
I
player.
mean, it's
HBCU.
camp, man. It's camp.
Yeah,
Everybody positive. Everybody look good. If the defense has a good day, then the offense is bad. If the offense have a good day, then the defense bad. It's
yeah.
just what happens. We really won't know much. I'm very interested in seeing the spring game, and going to the spring game because I believe that we'll get a chance to kind of see what these backup quarterbacks
You
look like.
saying with
See,
Jermaine Johnson starting 2013 team? Yeah, yeah. I think he'd have played over
Jermaine
Christian.
Johnson starting on any team, any era,
I
whatever.
think
Like
he'd have played over Christian Jones. Right? Because remember they put Christian
Jermaine
Jones at
started.
defensive end. Remember?
They did.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jermaine's definitely starting.
yeah. He started.
Um, but no, like it's just kind of when we get to spring, we'll get a chance to see some of this stuff real time. You know what I mean? Let's see what it looked like. Let's see how much confusion it is. Let's see what the rotations look like. Let's see who's starting. Um, let's see what Tate looked like. Maybe Tate did take a step. You know what I'm saying? Like let's see what Tate like. We've kind of written off Tate or whatever it is. And I know James say he's been at the practices and that's cap basically. You know what I mean? From what we hearing of the camp invites. So I think when we get to spring, we'll really see. Well, I don't say we'll really see. We'll see something different, and
Mm.
then by the time we get to fall, I think we'll have a much better idea of what this team really is. When we can get to okay, these are starters. You know what I'm saying? This is who are you rolling out LSU, and I think once you get to that place, it says a whole lot more about what you have right now. All this is really just speculation, right? Until we can shoot see some helmets clicking or whatever it is and some and the pads clicking. I don't think we really have any idea what these guys can do. We will have no idea who has stepped up. until we see him step up. You know what I mean? I ain't been to spring practice. I don't know who stepped up, but I know based on the people we've talked to, they, I think if you tell me like Sam, you said something, you was like they probably got a whole lot of like mediocre, right? So I was like, okay, so then they Wake Forest. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of mediocre players, but if you coach them well, you can win some football games.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
it ain't the end of the, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a whole lot of mediocre players probably playing with each other. But the thing is, you're going up against other teams who probably got a whole lot of mediocre. The majority of
Mhm.
schedule outside of Clemson, Florida, LSU. Who I'm missing? Miami, even you probably everybody else is going to be pretty much a whole bunch of
Yeah, I think so
mediocre.
I think see, I like Miami roster a little bit more than I like our roster.
Right, which is why I said I think those are the
Yeah.
teams that maybe have a little bit better roster, but
And
everybody
I
else you
think
probably right on
and I
par.
think we know Florida roster is a little better.
We know that.
Um I think
New
Clemson
coach, we'll have to see. But
yeah, we got to see if he can coach.
mhm,
I'm not sold on the. I thought he was gonna bring a better staff in there. So I'm a little.
I didn't.
If I'm a Florida fan, I'm a little. I mean, I know they think they got the next Kirby
Urban
Smart, but
Meyer.
no, they think they got the next Kirby Smart. They think he's gonna. I mean, I think he can recruit and gonna recruit well, but we got to see. That staff, I'm not in love with. But
We'll see.
I'm in love with Miami staff more than I am Florida staff. I think Miami got a better staff than Florida.
I mean, we knew that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they got Cristobal, we knew that.
Yeah, but I think overall, I think they got a chance to beat LSU. That's a game you want to circle. You need to beat LSU.
I think you need to be LSU, not even from the reasons of just winning. I just think it sends a real it sends a real positive message, right?
Right.
Like you go out there, you beat LSU.
Mhm.
I don't care who the coach is, what
Mhm.
they've been doing, and everything like that. If you beat LSU, I think it sends the right message that you again we've talked about proof of concept, right? And we
Right.
saw it in the Miami game. We've seen it a few other times in some circles. Go out there and beat LSU in year 3 to start your season off.
Yeah.
It definitely sends the right message.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I think so. I think. Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest problem is going to be. I think the biggest thing is going to be: can you create a pass rush with 4 to 5 players? Can you stop the run with 5 to 6 players? Can you make the numbers game? Can you make the numbers game work for you on defense? And I think on offense, I am a little concerned with the tackles from what I'm hearing. We'll see. But I'm gonna get to these couple questions right here.
Hold on, before we get to the questions, did you want to talk about the quarterback?
The Tate thing.
Yeah, who is it?
If Tate,
Luke. Luke.
if Tate is the backup quarterback,
No,
we
no, no.
going.
I'm talking about we got a QB commit, Luke Chroma Hulk or something like that.
Yeah, but he's 24, man. I don't even know how to even judge a 24 quarterback.
Okay.
I mean, he looks physical. Um, Seemed like a tough kid. He's being coached by Denny Thompson from
That's what
guy
I was gonna
Denny.
say, right? I started to be like, well, I've never heard of this kid. I don't know, much about him. I don't know what star ranking. But what got me was he's coached by Denny,
Mm,
and one of the things I don't trust very many people but I know what Denny do. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I know what Denny does. I know his program. I know he's some of your favorite quarterbacks in college football. He's worked with them. And so for me, I just want to say, we'll see if he's going to continue to develop with Denny. Then I think we may have a pretty good good quarterback in the future. So
yeah. So that's really what it's all about. We'll see. I mean, he's a 24 kid. Man, that's a
yeah, we got
long
a long
ways out.
time.
Well, it's a long ways out for right now. Well, it's 2 years, but um, I'm not finna down the guy because I don't know. Like, I mean, we'll see how he
I
breaks
don't know
out.
him either. Like I said, I think he got good size. The little bit I seen looks like he's a decent thrower to football. But again, where it impressed me was all right. He's working with Denny. So if
Mhm.
nothing else, I know he's gonna get better. And shout out to Denny.
Yeah. So first question: do y'all agree? This is from Sam Fave. Let me put that up. Do y'all agree that if each starting DN can have at least 5 sacks, that defense will be in a good place? Yes,
Yes.
I would agree with that. If they can get about 5, yeah, I think that's about right. Yeah,
If
5,
both your
6.
DNs get 5 sacks, you've gotten 10 sacks on the season from just your defensive end position.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that'd be a pretty good defense. I agree
That,
with
that
that.
that's a sign that your defense is doing pretty good.
Hmm I'm wondering if the portal will humble him more if he doesn't get picked up quickly. I see
I'm assuming we're
folks say
talking about
all the time.
Jarvis
Yeah,
Brownlee, right?
Brownlee. Yeah. I think
If the portal will humble him.
I think it was humbling that he didn't get an NIL deal, but
I-
I think that was humbling, right?
yeah, that's all I was gonna say. I think not having to leave the team because you couldn't get an NIL deal while other people are getting NIL deals around you is a pretty humbling experience.
Right. Yeah. So go with that. And I think this is the last question. If anybody had any more questions, go ahead and drop them. Last question. What about Duffy? So I heard
You mean what
Duffy.
about just
I heard Duffy is at least a year away. I heard
mhm.
that it's man, I don't like to knock kids because he just got there. But Duffy was a good
Game's too fast for him is
game's
the
too
things I
fast
think we've
for him
heard.
a little
Yeah.
bit. And Duffy wasn't doing really well at IMG. IMG is really complex. The way they go about their business there is like a junior college almost.
Mhm.
And he wasn't doing really great there either. You know what I'm saying? So but tools wise, he does have all the tools, right? He can throw the ball like crazy, can run physical fast. So I think he can eventually can step up, but I don't know if he's gonna. I don't think if we playing Duffy, I think we're in trouble. And I wouldn't want to ruin him. I wouldn't want to ruin Duffy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. What's his name? Jordan Travis has 2 more years, right? Of eligibility.
Yeah,
I would think the ideal situation would be Jordan Travis plays here this year and next year.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like this year, next year, and then Duffy comes in.
uh,
Because from what I think the thing that a lot of people were talking about is yeah, a true starter should have, at least 7 to 14 sacks a season, but if
yeah.
they can get five, that we'll take it. Um but no, what was it? Shit, I forgot. I lost my whole train of thought. Fuck it.
Um, Till Dog, his mom should have humbled him. I'm gonna tell you something, man. A lot of these elite athletes that go D1 like that, not very humble people. They're just
Let
not.
take it even a step further. Let me tell you, none of them are humble.
Yeah,
I've said this 1,000 times on this very podcast. It's hard to be humble when you're standing on the jumbotron.
yeah.
It is like
Arrogant people, bro. They're arrogant
they
people.
all arrogant, man. You
That's how
have
it
to
is, bro.
have that set of arrogance. You gotta have that set of cocky, almost delusional cocky, and especially to play DB.
Yeah, yeah,
That man, he did get burned in Jacksonville, by the Jacksonville State guy.
yeah.
You still got to come out and play football next week.
Who will the Jacksonville, I guess it's Jacksonville Jaguars, who will they focus on in the draft? I think I would draft Travion Walker. Um
You would not.
I would in the second
They
pick,
would fire you.
I will go. I think Pickens is gonna go higher than what everybody think he's gonna go. I thought he was gonna fall a little further than I was thinking because I think the behind the scenes with him gonna be kind of interesting. He's a really hot head. But somebody that I looked at was Christian Watson from North Dakota State. I think that kid, because Jacksonville got to get an X receiver. They got Y's, they got Z's. They need an X. They need a
Hmm.
primary X guy,
Yeah, they
which
the
they
number one
got Zay
receiver.
Jones doing that this year. But you need to draft the guy behind Zay Jones to develop, to become. Because ideally, what you want to do is you want your elite quarterback to have an elite wide receiver on rookie deals. If you
Hmm.
can have two guys elite on rookie deals, you can save a lot of money, build your defense on the fly. By the time those rookie deals are over with, pay your quarterback and keep drafting wide receivers to develop a higher great wide receivers. That's ideally that's what you want to do, right?
Hmm.
You don't want to
That's
pay
what
wide
that's what
receivers.
you we saw. That's what Seattle did
But
with Russell
that's
Wilson.
what Kansas City just
That's what
did,
Kansas
right?
City did.
Kansas
Yep.
City just said, okay, we've built up our quarterback is elite now. We gave him everything he needed to be elite, right? Now we're gonna build his defense up through the draft,
Hmm.
draft wide receivers. Green Bay, think about it. Green Bay, Patriots, the
Hmm.
Colts. The Colts pay their wide receivers. The Steelers always do it. They always draft wide receivers and develop and they
Hmm.
always do it like that. So ideally, that's what you want to do.
I would actually take it. I would move. I'd move back. You know what I mean? I don't know, 6, 7, 8, somewhere where you think Johnson gonna go. I would pick up Johnson and in that draft in the first, in that top 10, and then I come back and get a wide receiver.
How y'all feel about Jamie Robinson and Keem Dan at safety? I like both of them at safety, and I think with Sidney Williams at safety, I think you got three good safeties.
I think you got three very good
Yeah,
safeties. Yeah.
three good, very good safeties. So we have invested so much in the stadium. What do you have? I think it's about Jacksonville. JJ keep asking all this stuff about Jacksonville. Tevin Smith is never playing football again. Jacksonville ruined him.
Oh, Jackson. I want y'all to understand something. Because Tevin Smith may have been the most passionate football player I'd ever seen play football. Like, he was at Florida State. He was the focal with all them alpha males and all them big dogs in there. Tevin Smith was like the loudest barker, the biggest heart. He went to Jacksonville and in a locker room with Jalen Ramsey and Calais Campbell and all these other ones. He was still that same dude. He was like the most passionate dude out there. Jacksonville killed that. Jacksonville killed that.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That is hilarious.
That man decided he wasn't playing the most passionate football player that I'd ever seen play football decided he was not playing football anymore, just on the drop.
He said, "Who would be Jacksonville's hardest opponent for the conference?"
Oh,
everybody.
Everybody is their toughest opponent. Anyway, yeah, we do though. You do need that. You do need that alpha dog or whatever.
What's Jordan stat line for successful season? 3,500 yards, 500 yards rushing. If your starter quarterback at modern football can't throw for 3,000 yards, you don't have a good quarterback, bro. Period. I'm sorry. If your starting quarterback,
keep talking. I'm gonna look up Jordan Travis stats for this.
Go look them up. They're terrible.
No. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm trying to figure out where we.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying you saying a successful season. That means your starting quarterback needs to throw for 3,500 yards.
He threw for 1,056 yards, 55 completion. Then 15. What did I say? No, 2020. It was 1,000. 1,056. Okay. Last season, he went for 1,539 yards. Right. 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Right.
And you were saying he's going to get you 3,500?
No. They said what's
he going to add 2,000 more yards?
They said what's Jordan's stat line for a successful season?
I'm saying, okay. So if we are successful, then Jordan Travis has that stat line.
Yes, it's that line.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
But what's funny,
he's not getting the 30. Let me be very clear. If Jordan Travis gets the 3,500 yards, we won 10 games.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna say that flatly.
Well, you're close to 10 games.
You're very close to 10 games.
Right.
Like, if Jordan Travis is throwing for 3,500 yards, either our defense is trash and we in shootouts, or we are close to winning 10 games.
Right. I think the thing with Jordan Travis, you got to look at it like this. And I told somebody this, and they were arguing about Jordan Travis and why, we got to trust him. He's our starter. He's our leader. I'm like, dude, Jordan Travis threw for 1,500 yards last year. If you can't replace 1,500 yards, if you can't find somebody that can replace 1,500 yards as a quarterback in college football, bro, you got a problem. Bro, that's why I don't understand what people be talking. Like, that's what makes me think people don't be watching these games and really taking in all this information, because 1,500 yards in modern college football is ridiculous.
Bad season.
That's a bad season.
That's a bad season. If a quarterback's throwing for 1,500 yards is a bad season.
Period. Brandon, that is a very replaceable guy.
Easily.
Yeah, that's a very replaceable guy.
1,500 yards is a lot, man. Like,
that's not a lot.
That's a real low bar to have, though.
Bro, it's quarterbacks that play.
Marcus say he getting to 3,000. Then we win an 9 game. Again, right. You're talking about him doubling the passing yards that he has.
Right.
You're literally talking about him doubling the amount of passing yards that he has.
Right.
If he doubles the passing yards, you're talking about he going to have that. What do you have? 15, 22, 25 touchdowns if he get 3,000 yards?
Yeah.
You're talking about okay. Listen, I hope so. Man, Jordan. Like, if Jordan get the 3,000, 3,500, then we have had a very good season.
Right.
Mike is here for the long haul, and you know what I mean? Let's get it going. I think we asking a lot from a quarterback to go from 1,000 yards to 1,500 yards to 3,000 or 3,500. Whew. Okay, Marcus, I believe I'm gonna believe like you. It's Sunday.
Hold on.
This Sunday, I'll roll with you.
Hold on right quick. Passing yards.
Like, I
What was
don't even
that?
know what you're talking
2021?
about. Huh?
2021, right? Last year, right?
Yeah. 1,539 yards is what he
All
had.
right, hold on. Nah, I'm finna just tell y'all. I'm finna just go off, rattle some numbers off of y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. This is modern college football.
Mm-hmm.
Modern college football now. The leading in passing was Western Kentucky guy, Bailey Zapp, right? 5,900 yards.
Ooh,
Bryce Young, 4,800 yards.
must be nice.
Brendan Armstrong played in Virginia, 4,400 yards. CJ
Mm-hmm.
Stroud, 4,400 yards. Kenny Pickett, 43. Sam Hartman, 42.
Mm-hmm.
Carson Strong, 41.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Hartner, 40. I mean,
Let's go
4,000.
down to some of them low numbers. Give
All
me
right.
who else is in that company with Jordan
So
and the school and the team. Let's go there.
1,500 yards. It's not even on here. It starts at 50. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like
Matter of fact, you know what? What's
Sam
his name? I
Howell.
know who to look up.
Sam Howell threw for 3,056 yards.
And he had a bad season this year.
That was a bad season. Remember, we considered that a bad season. Like, Sam Howell didn't do that great. Tyler Van Dyke at Miami.
That's what I was gonna look up.
2,900 yards.
And he didn't start the whole season.
Didn't start the whole season.
He didn't come into what? Week
4, 5.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Hold on. Adrian Martinez at Nebraska. Hold on.
Didn't we have? I was gonna say, did somebody say that Tyler Van Dyke wasn't better than Jordan?
Yeah, hold on. I'm not done. Adrian Martinez at Nebraska. We all agree that he sucks, right? We all agree that Martinez at Nebraska been there forever and he sucks, right?
It has been terrible. Yeah.
2,800 yards. Stetson Bennett. We think Stetson Bennett sucks, right? 2,800 yards.
So he started, it looks like maybe middle of the Virginia game.
Right.
In the middle, he was 15 to 29, 203 yards, and that was his lowest game.
Okay. Hey,
after that, he went 264, 325, 426, 389, 316, 357, 381.
Jack Cohen, Nebraska at Notre Dame, who they by the time the end of the season, by mid-season, he was going back and forth with the other quarterback. Remember that? They would bring one quarterback in, bring him back in.
Yeah.
Right? Part-time starter. 3,100 yards. I'm just so this is
no. He said they said, okay, so it's because Jordan Travis missed games.
We know that. That's the problem.
Okay, here's the funny thing though, right? If you extrapolate out and you say, okay, yeah, he did miss games. He absolutely did miss games. What if you add that was hold on. Google in here listening to my Google in here listening to my but no, if you add in, man, like those, okay, so add another 200 yards to it. He doing 1,700. Let's give him let's add 2 more, 400 yards. He still wouldn't make the list.
Right.
Like he still wouldn't have made that list of guys you just named. That's what I'm saying. Like it don't matter.
Yeah. Let me go. Let's say somebody said they want to do the comparison of Malik Cunningham. Okay. Malik Cunningham only threw for last year. Malik Cunningham threw for 2,900 yards. That's what Malik Cunningham threw for. So, all I'm saying is, if your quarterback can't get up,
Malik Cunningham threw for 29. What is it? 2,900?
Yeah,
2941.
Yeah.
That's
and then
crazy.
If you go look at his rushing, hold on, let me go to his rushing. Go to his stats. Let me go.
Yo, that hurt a little bit.
Yeah. See, this is stuff that people don't be really like paying attention to. Hold on, I can't even find his rushing yards. Hold on. Okay. He rushed for 1,000 yards. Malik Cunningham. So altogether, he basically added up about, he rushed for 1,000 yards last season.
Yeah, so 4,000 yards total offense.
Pretty much.
Because he had 3,000 in passing, 1,000 throwing. 1,000 rushing.
Right.
I'll take that.
But that's modern college football, though. If your quarterback ain't doing that, If your quarterback not accounting for 3,000 to 3,500 to 4,000 yards of offense, you probably not scoring a bunch of points. You're probably not winning a bunch of games in modern
Jo-
college football.
Jonathan says, "What type of weapons did those guys have on offense? Name me Louisville wide receiver core."
Yeah, because they had lost most of them. Remember, they lost most of them. We thought that was a winnable game. Remember,
Hmm.
because they lost most of them in the draft.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So when people get into this conversation talking about, well, you can't bring another quarterback in because we don't want to lose Jordan Travis. You can't replace 1,500 yards. You can't replace that.
Mm. I would hope.
I mean,
I would hope. I mean,
what we doing here, people?
again, man, it's bad. I mean, again, Jordan got to. When we talk about all these players, right, having to
Yeah.
take a step up, Jordan is probably the main one on that list. If we honestly, you know what I mean, if we really being honest about it,
Yeah.
Jordan has to take the biggest step up.
Jordan
He
rushed
has
for,
to improve
hold
as
on
a
right quick, Brad.
passer.
Jordan rushed for 530 yards last year.
2,000 yards.
So he accounted for almost 2,000 yards of offense. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot of that's not a lot of production for the quarterback position in modern college football. Now this is great. There'll be a great stat line for Thad Busby. All right. In this college football, that's not a great stat line. That's a terrible stat line.
What's crazy about it, as I'm looking at, I'm still looking at these Malik Cunninghams because that's the one that really I think because we all can agree that he's not very good. I think that's the one that, like, yeah, I'm just saying, like, out of all, I'm looking at this dude's numbers and I'm just like, dog, we ain't even here.
Right.
Like, he don't even throw the ball that much. Like, I'm looking like he got multiple games where he don't even throw the ball for 20, 25, 30 times,
Right.
and he actually threw it the most against Florida State. That was like the most. Like, they don't even throw the ball that often. This is what I'm like. As I'm looking at this, I'm saying this ain't even like a pass happy offense that just out here spreading. Man, okay.
Yeah. So we say you guys we appreciate that, Sam Faith. Real talk. We try to base this whole podcast on being honest and being real about things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Jordan Travis can't account for 4,000 yards. I'm not saying he can't. I'm saying at the bare minimum he better be around 3,000 to 3,500 yards of offense as a quarterback. That's what a top 50 quarterback does. You see what I'm saying? I'm not even talking about him being a top
So
10 quarterback in college football.
I was looking at the West, and now I'm looking at the apparently the problem is not Jordan Travis. It is the wide receiving group.
It's
He didn't have
all of it.
anybody.
It's all of it. No, I'm saying it's all of it though, Brandon. Like, but guess what? That's why you recruit. That's why you bring in transfer guys, right?
Mhm.
So that when I tell people, I think I said last year, I said they need to start featuring Malik McClain the back half of the season. I said they need to be trying to force feed Malik McClain the football, right?
Correct.
And people said, well, Sam, he's just a true freshman. What are you talking about? Well, what I was talking about is you need to be getting ready for this year, right? Because Malik McClain is a guy that can go for 1,000 yards, right? So you need to have him going. You need to have Malik McClain to be 1,000-yard receiver next year. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Here's the thing. Both things are true. Allen
Right.
Moore said he was the same QB who was hooting and hollering when he got those touchdowns, and he's gonna be our quarterback this year when we hoot and holler like when he gets touchdowns.
Yeah, we're not
He
gonna
is
knock the
still the
kid.
best. He still is the best quarterback we have. That doesn't make him great.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, he is our quarterback. We gonna root for him, buy the T-shirt, the 4th and 14. Thank we were happy as hell that he did it. He took steps, but he also has to take more steps because 1,500 yards, 2,000 yards total on offense as a quarterback is just not acceptable. So
He
while I
didn't.
understand what we're saying when we say, yeah, he didn't have a lot of people to throw the ball to, he also ran out of clean pockets. He also, you know what I mean, overthrew some wide open guys. We've seen that. So what I'm saying is he has to take a step up. Yep.
Right.
That don't have nothing to do with the receivers. Yep, the receivers got to take a step up. Yes, they needed to improve that wide receiver room, which is why we were so hard when on signing day they didn't sign any receivers. So again, we not arguing nothing different. What I'm saying is he has to be better because what he has been is not good enough in modern day college football.
That's
That's the
all I'm
point we
saying.
making.
That's all we
That's
said.
it.
So
It don't have nothing to do with this kid as a person. It has nothing to do with him as a player. He is who he is.
right.
He is limited. We always knew that. And if you could find somebody better to start over him that may have thrown for 3,000 yards, I would do it. Does he get the 3,000 yards this year? I doubt it, but I'm hoping so.
Right.
Does he get to 3,500? We win 10. I just said it. We win 10 games to get to 3,500. We win 8 for sure if he get to 3,000.
Right.
And I mean total.
Right.
And
I
you
mean,
definitely can't throw Duffy. Timmy said we definitely can't throw. You may have missed the first part of this part where we said Duffy is a couple years away. You know what I mean? He's a year at least.
right,
So listen, he's the best option we have.
right. But we
And
talking
until
about,
we find, and if we find somebody better, he
yeah.
will play.
But when you ask for a successful season, when people say, "Well, Sam, what's going to create a successful season?" A successful season is him being ranked in the top 50 in passing.
In
That's
passing.
and guess what? That's not hating. That is
Right.
being real. A top quarterback. Think about it. His yards and his what he accounted for on the offense is not even top 50 in college football.
hmm
So if your quarterback is not ranked in the top 50 in college football, you probably got a bad football team, right? It's the most
Period.
important. It's the most important position.
It's
I
the
mean,
most important position.
so this is why I tell people. People always be like saying you always being negative. What's negative about telling you what's real? Like that's real. Like so, I would
That's
say,
see, you know what it is, and now I'm on a whole philosophical point. That's the problem I think with today's society. Like everything has to like be spoon fed, be coddled. I think we like, a lot of us grew up in different generations, man. I got cussed at. You know what I mean? Like my coaches slapped my helmet when if I did so. I got pulled by my face mask. I remember grabbing my son and pulling his face mask like to talk to him or whatever in the middle of a game and I was coaching. And somebody was like, "You can't do that." Like, this is my son. I can do what I want. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like I don't know
yeah,
what we're talking about. These are things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we have somehow decided that everything has to be nice.
right,
Oh, this you're not a fan if you're not only speaking positive. I don't know when that started, but that's also a thing that pisses me off. Like,
mm,
man, we are going to tell you what we see. If Jordan comes out and lights it up for $4,500, 4,500 yards, and ends up in the Heisman thing, great.
but Brandon, we just
Like that's
showed.
wonderful,
But
and we'll
Brandon,
talk about the improvement that he's made, and it won't take away from the fact that he got 1,500 yards last season.
mm, but you know something, though, Brandon, 4,500 yards probably wouldn't even put him in the Heisman discussion.
Because you're right, dudes, I can throw it for five and whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
But I get what you're saying. Yeah,
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
but you get what I'm saying. We will
we talking
say,
about
hey,
him.
good, he's arrived. Thank you.
Yeah, but we saying I'm asking him to be a top 50 quarterback because he's not. You see what I'm saying? Like, be a top 50 quarterback.
That's it.
If that so if you at Florida State and you don't have a top 50 quarterback, you should be looking for another quarterback. This is just how this works. You know what I'm saying? You recruit over players. That's what you do.
Every day, I'm bringing in somebody else.
Ponder was a good quarterback. Okay, hold on. Let me stop right there.
Good college.
Drew Weatherford was a bad quarterback. Ponder was better than Drew Weatherford. EJ Manuel was better than Ponder. This is my opinion, right? EJ Manuel was better than Ponder. Okay? Jameis Winston was better than EJ. These are just, in my opinion, this is how I look at this stuff.
Ain't an opinion, those are facts.
Right.
Like all of those are facts.
Statistically,
Yeah.
now Ponder might have had maybe Ponder didn't have the weapons that EJ had. Maybe that's what the difference was. But in my opinion,
No.
EJ was better.
A better quarterback.
In my opinion, EJ was a better quarterback than Ponder. That's
Jameis could have had this same group and still throwing for the same. Like,
right.
Jameis was just good. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, James ain't throwing for 1,500. I don't care what you put around him.
Yeah.
It didn't matter the receiving core that was around him. Jameis wasn't throwing for 1,500. So while I understand what y'all are saying, yeah, we need receivers and blah, 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 he still wasn't throwing for 1,500.
Right.
He couldn't do it if you tried.
Right.
It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the point. George Travis and Stetson Bennett without the supporting cast.
That sounds about right. Maybe. But it seems like Stetson Bennett might be better than.
No, I think Stetson Bennett is better.
It's hard, right? Because you don't.
It's real hard. Because I don't really like Stetson Bennett, right?
Right.
But but Stetson, I mean,
but he did beat out a 5-star quarterback, though.
That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's kind of hard to judge that. Like, I think because we don't like Stetson, I don't think Stetson may be as bad as what we may think he is, and that's the thing about it. Like, again, Kirby knows more than I do about football, and he has chosen to go with Stetson Bennett and has won a championship as a result of it.
Yeah.
I can't really, say he's Stetson Bennett.
So
check
this out. Check this out. Christian Ponder, when at 2008, when he first started at Florida State, right? Christian Ponder in 2008. In 2008, for the record, he threw for 2,000 yards. His next year, 2,700 yards. The year he was banged up the whole year in 2010, still 2,000 yards. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? This is modern college football. If your quarterback can't get up there, I mean, if Jimbo that first 2 years with Ponder was piecing and pacing offense together. He was literally like duct tape and glue offense together in those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And what's crazy about him throwing for 2,000 yards in it is in what's it called? Is Jimbo's system was so slow and plotting. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like you got fewer possessions.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So like him getting that while not being a great quarterback in Jimbo's system is it says basically. Well, it says that Jordan's not doing enough because Jordan has way more opportunities. I was gonna say Jordan has way more opportunities to get to 2,000 yards and hasn't gotten there yet, or 2,500 yards and hasn't gotten there yet. So maybe this is the season, man.
yeah. Yeah, man. But if you haven't subscribed to the show, man, please hit the subscribe button. Man, this was actually turned into a great conversation because I didn't think it was a lot to talk about. But
I promise you, we came out here with like one thing. You know what I mean? Like I think I texted him like one thing. We was like, this would be a quick, 20, 30 minute. But man, we appreciate y'all for real. Like Jonathan, NK, Timmy, I think Leah's been in, Sab, like everybody S dot the game, like everybody who has been in here, man. Like y'all really drove this one, man. Y'all carried this one, man, with the comments and with the questions, man. So we appreciate that, and that's really what we like, man. We love it when you guys can that's and that you know what that's we gonna sum it up with that one. Say Sam, the truth hurts. Ignoring the truth doesn't make things better, and that's exactly where I want to leave it at because that's kind of what we started this thing on. You know, what I mean, we were reading. Sam had his sources. I had some people I talked to. I wouldn't call them sources, but they were just people. And we was like, I don't know if I'm hearing the same thing that people are saying. So we started just kind of being the honest podcast. You know what I'm saying? Let's tell some truth. Let's talk about it. And so that's what we're gonna continue to do.
yeah, but if you haven't, man, if you haven't listened to, we had a episode with James Coleman that you can go back and listen to on the YouTube. I had an episode with Kenny Shaw. I did a pod with Kenny Shaw. If you just joining the YouTube, I seen that, man. We went up like almost 150 something subscribers. So if you
Yep.
new, go check out some of those
There was
old
some new
episodes.
faces in here. You know what I mean? In the comment section as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
No, we
go
welcome,
check out
man. We
those.
appreciate y'all.
We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. So if you missed half the show, you want to listen to it in the car, go to Apple, go to Spotify. I'm gonna put the link in the YouTube comment section. I'll put that in there for you guys, and man, y'all check everything out. We're gonna keep rocking. If you're going to spring game, let me know, man. Let's get together. Let's link. Let's tailgate.
Yep.
I'll probably be at James Coleman tailgate, but I got invited to 2 others, so I'm gonna try to hit all 3. I'm gonna see, but man, we appreciate you guys subscribing, man, and coming through, man. Even Marcus Moore, Smart Boy Enterprise, he says not gonna happen with Jordan Travis.
Man, y'all gotta believe, man. It's Sunday morning, man.
So
y'all gotta believe he gonna get to that 2,500 3,000 3,500 mark.
I want to try to sell some t-shirts, man, for the spring game. Get some guys to listen to our podcast t-shirts, man. So if you want some t-shirts, man, hit me on
podcast
Twitter.
You can hit on, just put in the comment section on Facebook, and I get it.
Yeah. Put this comment on Facebook or comment on the YouTube. You want a t-shirt or whatever. And
yep.
I'm next episode. I had a picture of the t-shirts up, so y'all guys can look at it or whatever, man. So we can spread the word and listen to podcasts. Preaching the gospel. So hey, man, but we appreciate everybody who coming to the show. Brandon, man, you have a good rest of your week.
Hey, same, man.
Look out for the So It Was Next part with me and Nikki. We try to do them every other week. So look out for that. That's been doing really well too. So we appreciate you guys, man. Y'all be great.